Hello everybody. Today I'm going to show you how to answer a question that refers to poetic line segments inside of the book Discovering Hope in the Psalms. When Bible translators put the Psalms into their Bible, they divide them up into stanzas. And you can tell where the stanzas break because there's a blank line, and we've duplicated that here. And then stanzas are further divided into poetic lines, and you can tell where a poetic line is because it always starts at the beginning of the margin, at the left end of the margin. So this is a poetic line beginning, and this is a poetic line. And then the poetic lines are further divided into line segments. So this poetic line has 4 line segments, A, B, C, and D. This one has 2, A, B, and on like that. Now, be careful not to get mixed up with verse numbers because the start of a verse does not necessarily mean the start of a poetic line. When you get over to 23, Psalm 23, you'll see the problem. See, verse 2 starts right in the middle of a poetic line here. The poetic line begins here and here, but verse 2 is right in the middle of it. So a poetic line always begins at the left margin. And then the line segments are everything else that's indented. So let's take a look at the chart on page 24. It's question 13, and we'll see how to answer it. It tells you to look at Psalm 1, and I've got 2 books here to make it easy. So here's Psalm 1 here. And it says, complete the following chart by comparing the wicked in verse 1 with the righteous in verse 2. Now you do want to use the copy that's in the book for most questions that refer to line segments or to stanzas, because all translations divide up the stanzas and the line segments differently. So that's, in fact, that's the reason we printed the psalm in the book, is so that we could have continuity. Okay, so we're going to do this. The 2 column headings are the wicked and the righteous. We'll do the wicked first. And it asks, what is the source of counsel for the wicked? And it says it's found in 1b. So we look here. Blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the wicked. Okay, so the counsel of the wicked is the other wicked. So we come over here, and we see it's already filled in, the wicked. And then under the wicked, the next thing it asks is, what are their practices? And that's found in 1c. So we go over to 1c, A, B, C, and it says, stands in the way of sinners. So you could write stands in the way of sinners, or shorten it down like I did here and just write sin. The practices of the wicked is sin, or sin. And then the next one is, what's their attitude towards God's will? And that's found in 1d. So A, B, C, D, and that's right here. And it says, sits in the seat of scoffers. So their attitude towards God's will is they scoff at it. So I just shortened it down to scoffs right here. Now we're going to look at what the psalm says about the righteous. So the righteous, it says the source of their counsel is in 2a. So we come to 2a, and it says, but his delight is in the law of the Lord. So that's the law of the Lord. 2b asks what their practices are. And that's going to be found, it says, in 2b. So we go to 2b, and it says, on his law he meditates day and night. So the practices of the righteous are meditation on God's law. And you can write day and night in there if you want, but there's not a lot of room. Then finally, we look at what is their attitude towards God's will, and that's found in 2a. So we go over to 2a, and it says, but his delight is in the law of the Lord. So his attitude towards God's will is delight. So we just write in delight. And there you have it. That's how to answer a question that has line segments listed as A, B, C, or anything like that. Have a wonderful day. Bye.